party like it's 1999.
Hey, welcome back to my channel, everyone. It's been a crazy couple of weeks for me. 2 weeks ago, practiced at club after about 5 weeks without riding. Then I in that Triple Series event at Birch Creek in Sutherlin, Virginia, just east of Danville this weekend. I'll take a minute to give a little backstory, though, and if you want to skip ahead uh, just to watch some riding, go ahead. I just ask that you subscribe to my channel, and if you've not already, on that little red subscribe button at the corner of the video. Give the video a thumbs up and leave a comment, since those things help make the video visible for others to see. I'll try not to bore everyone, but I'll start by saying I was never a national caliber pro. I never entered national motocross race. I started racing when I was 10 years old, and started racing consistently at 11. I moved to big bikes at 13. I raced C or amateur, whatever we had in our local area. We didn't have much AMA at the time. I raced my first B race at 13, though, and unfortunately broke my leg in that race, and so that ended my year about halfway. So the next year I ran select AMA races to get points to move to A. By the end of the year, when I was 14. So I did race locally in the Carolinas mostly, and I was a decent A rider, at the time. Prior to Loretta's, I made the amateur national final in the 125 class in 1980. That was up in Millville. That was when I was 16, and I placed 18th. At that time, there was no A, B, C, modified, limited, pro sport, any of that back then. It was just all one class, and that gave riders incentive to move up out of the B and C classes. So the nationals for the non-youth classes, like that, were four classes only. It was 100cc big bikes, 125, 250s, and 500s. And it was very competitive to make it in my opinion. All the area qualifiers and regionals were full gates, and 30 plus 2 minute motos. All the area qualifiers and like I said, regionals had 30 plus 2 minute motos. The national was over 3 days, actually, not the regional, and they had a practice day on Friday, then two motos each day on the weekend. But I raced full time through about 1982, and decided at that point I had an issue trying to make it to Loretta's that year. Long story, but I didn't get in, and decided just to go back to college, or go to college, not go back yet. So, and then I raced, sporadically. I raced some in '83 and got injured pretty badly, and then didn't race in '84 at all, and I was in college, and then in college I also decided to get a bike in '85, and had a couple of bikes after that, from '85 to '87, and raced, occasionally. I would say maybe once or twice a month, and still did pretty well, in the local events. So after '87, I pretty much packed it in. But then in '92, I decided, hey, it's time to get a bike. So I got me another bike in 1992 and raced a few races. At the end of '92, our first kid came, and so David came into the world, and so I decided that probably I ought to just pack this in again, and I sold that bike, which that was a mistake, but I sold that bike and didn't get another one until 1999, and so I raced about 8 events in 1999. By that time, I was riding the plus 30A and plus 35 class. Did pretty good. I won some races, but then what kind of brings me to this is, my last race was at Birch Creek in July of 1999. So that was almost 26 years ago. So So this video is at that same track. It's my first race back in almost 26 years. And it just happened that way. It was pretty cool that it did. And I haven't ridden there since then, even though they have open practice days, and it's not too far from where I live, about an hour and a half. So, anyway, just wanted to give that little backstory, and the little story behind this is, that it's my first race back in almost 26 years at the same track that was my last race. So, also in this video, you might see some friends I met, Pat and Gina Mahan, and also Ricky Phelan, who's a fast 50-plus rider. Has been at club training for the last few months. So let's go to the action. You too, man. Did you jump that?
I did. That when I passed you on the outside, that's when I hit it.
Yeah.
It was butter too, dude. I just clicked fourth in that corner and got on the outside of you. It was just nice and easy, man. It shot me right over it. Perfect.
I figured I could get over it. I just hadn't tried it.
Yeah, you got that.
Maybe. After the third practice, I felt pretty good on Saturday and decided I'm coming back and the next day to race. And I wasn't sure what class to ride, but since they had a 60-plus, from the Capital Cup Series in District 13, and I'm 61, and I figured, heck, I should ride that. And I also rode 50 plus, which is a typical class at local events.
Yes, blinking. Yep, blinking. Yep.
My first race of the day was in the 50 plus, and I thought the other two were dropping on the same gate, and our group, since we were the largest group, would be on a single gate. But apparently, college boy class was started with us, and so again, I really never knew what place I was at. Surprisingly, in this first 50 plus class, like I said, I didn't know what place I was in. Looking back at the video and who placed where, at this point I'm in third place. There is a rider that is about to pass me, so I was in third place just briefly. I never actually finished a lap in third. Later, one of the riders that I had previously passed got me back, and I started to fade a little bit just from the nerves and being tense and running this race pace for the first time. Ricky also got by me, back by me also.
Man, I sucked.
Good job. You did great, man. First one. I saw it.
How'd you feel?
Like, I was sucking, but did you crash or something? I stalled it on that. I figured you were gone. Then all of a sudden, I stalled it, and then I had to regroup for a minute, and then I got going. I was like, I was too late then. Yeah, it was good though. Yeah. We had water on the track. I know, like that really messed me up. Yeah, I seen the water, and I was like, I didn't see the water until. Well, it's in the back section. Yeah, back section, and then like coming down. Yeah, there's water. I told Pat just to be careful, be mindful of it. Well.
My second race of the day was the 60 plus class combined with the 40 plus BC class on one gate, and the 45 A class I think was on the other gate. So they went first, and then we went after them.
How'd you do?
Third.
Oh, good. I saw you got a better start that time.
Yeah.
I got a good start too.
Did you?
I was in third in the whole class. And I started racing with the other class a little bit, and I said, yeah, I probably ought to back off a little bit. And it kind of, that was my starting to get tired excuse for not interfering with the other race.
Yeah. I saw you go over the triple.
Yeah.
I did the triple in the back every lap.
Very nice.
That was riding good.
It's a step in the right direction.
Yeah,
That's good progress. Carry that momentum into the next one.
How'd you do, Pat?
A classes are just so stacked. I got
It's like my 50 plus class, dude. It's fucking rocket ships in there.
I got third.
Good job, man.
In the second plus 50 class, I had an issue with my camera. My battery had died out on the starting line, and so I had no film of that, which was probably just as well. The other issue I had was after the start. I got a decent start, a little better start this time, but I felt like an awful knocking in the front end on my bike that sounded like the front end was falling off of it, or the wheel was broken or something, or flat tire or something. Slowed down really slow and tried to see what was going on, see if I had a flat tire, see if my rim was broken or what was going on. And actually stopped twice to see, because I could not figure out what the issue was. After about a lap, though, it completely cleared up, and I just rode from there and just kind of, rode a few laps out. But the issue was my start device had locked in place, and it did not disengage, and it was packed full of mud and dirt and corrosion, I guess. Whenever I got back in, I cleaned it up good, and it was all good after that the rest of the day. The last moto of the day was actually the very last moto of the day, and it was the plus 60 and 40 plus BC class. And someone had told me in the first moto I was a little concerned when I was in the mix with the 40 plus guys. There was about 4 of them that were 3 or 4 of them that were pretty fast, and so I was kind of in the middle of them, and I was concerned that I might be racing with them and messing their race up. It's not really why they passed me, but it's still on my mind, while I'm racing with these guys, and so in the second moto, someone had told me that, hey, don't worry about that. Go out and run your own race, and do what you can do. And so my thought was I'd try to get a better start and see if I could, what I could do with those guys. And so you can watch this and see what happens. So my thoughts of the day, coming from someone that used to race a long time ago and someone that has, recently been riding a lot of open practice days, but not going to organized events. The obvious impression is that not only are the races a lot more expensive, but you get a lot less ride time. And, this event, for example, took 2 full days from, to ride about the amount of time that I will ride in a 4-hour period at a practice track. So from a riding standpoint, it's certainly not worth it. You know, from the other, you know, competitive standpoint, you know, it was, you know, a different story. So that's something that is fun, you know, as long as you stay safe and you know, don't go out and try to be a madman and run over people or kill people. So, you know, that's the kind of my takeaway from it. It's something that I might do some. How much, I don't really know. I guess we'll see. And, you know, it would be nice if there were races, you know, more like they used to be, where you could go and practice, a full practice in a day, and a practice and a race in the same day, even if it is a long day, and also have, you know, reasonable race times. So, for example, these races were 4 laps. I think every class was 4 laps, and you know, that's less than 10 minutes, about 8 minutes, 8-minute moto. While I did get a little tired, but honestly, I mean, that's not, you know, that's not really what I remember at all. So that's why people ride 2 or 3 classes, and that's why there's 20-some classes. So it's kind of a catch-22 there. But anyway, had a good time, and you know, maybe I'll do it again. Just keep following and we'll see. Thanks.
A few moments later.
There it is. Woo! I thought you were lost. Hey, I found it. Over the big triple. Goes off. Probably when I cased that sucker. 1 lap, and it must have popped off then.
I had one video of the triple, and I'm trying to zoom in this because I was it still recording?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Tonight I'm gonna party like it's 1999.